This ain't your mama's banana bread, bud. We're talking rich, nutty brown butter and deeply caramelized bananas. Let's go. Look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with standard banana bread, all right? If you've got a decent enough recipe, it's gonna be moist, it's almost impossible to mess it up, and generally speaking, it's only gonna take you like 5 to 10 minutes to get it in the oven. The way I see it, anything that simple has a lot of room for improvement, right? Right, so that's what we're up to today. We're gonna be taking this timeless classic, and with just a couple of little steps, we're gonna make it just so much better. All right, now I'm gonna be sharing with you in just a few minutes my favorite banana bread recipe, but if you've got your own that you like to stick to, you can use these same tricks in yours, and there's no real reason that it shouldn't work out just fine. All right, so the first little bit of magic we're gonna add into this is we're gonna be making brown butter. So whatever amount of butter that you'd normally be using in your banana bread recipe or in the one I'm about to tell you about, we're just gonna take that butter and we're gonna heat it up in a pan and we're gonna get it nice and toasty. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna toast all of the milk solids in the butter and give it a really rich, deep, nutty flavor. And this technique is super simple. Takes just a couple minutes, and you can do it with just about any baked good that you're making. You can do it with cookies, you can do it with whatever. You do it with whatever. If you got a pan with a nice light bottom like this, it's definitely gonna help you get it right on the first try because you can see a little more easily when the butter's starting to brown and try to avoid burning it. If you don't have a pan like that, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. You can do it with any pan. I did it in a pan with a black bottom. You can still see what you're doing. You just gotta pay a little bit more attention. So all we're gonna do for this, we're gonna take our cold butter, toss it in our pan, and we're just gonna stir this constantly. We're not gonna stop stirring it. If you gotta go to the bathroom, hold it, just wait. You're not doing anything, okay? And we're gonna wait until it foams up, and you're gonna see that it gets really, really, really foamy on top, and it's almost done at this point, all right? As soon as that foam starts to clear, you're gonna see underneath that the butter is starting to brown. And what we wanna do is we wanna pull that off the heat a little bit early because it's going to keep cooking. The butter's hot, the milk solids are gonna keep cooking in the butter. So if you let it go all the way, what you're gonna end up with is bitter burnt butter, and that's definitely not what we're going for. So you can see here my finished brown butter, nice deeply toasted, with nice deeply toasted, why is that hard? With nice deeply toasted milk solids in the bottom. If you pull it off a little bit too early, don't worry about it. You can always throw it back on for a minute, heat it back up, it's gonna be just fine. But if you take it too far, we can't do anything about that. Okay, now the next thing that we're gonna add into this recipe is we're gonna add in caramelized bananas. Rather than just using regular overripe bananas, which we can still use for a little bit added sweetness, we actually don't even need to wait for them to be that ripe. Even right here is perfectly fine. It's still gonna have a little bit of structure, so when we go to put it in our pan, it's not gonna fall apart immediately. And it's gonna allow us to get that nice, deep caramelized crust on our bananas before we add them into our batter. So to do this, we're just gonna take a tiny bit of butter, heat it up in a pan, get it nice and toasty on medium-high heat. We're gonna slice our bananas lengthwise. You can slice them however you want. I just find this easier to work with. Then we're just gonna add it into our pan and cook until they're nice and golden brown. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we're just gonna make batter as usual. So at this point, if you got your favorite recipe, you wanna go do that, go right ahead and do that. But of course, if you do go ahead and do that, be sure to come on back and hit the like button so YouTube knows to send this to other people who might want to see it, and let me know down in the comments how it turned out. To make banana bread, I like to use 100 grams or 7 tablespoons of butter, 3 medium overripe bananas, 250 grams or roughly 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of honey, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. First thing we'll do is preheat our oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we'll mix together our flour, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, and allspice. We'll just set that aside. Next, in a mixer or just in a bowl with a wooden spoon, we're going to cream together our brown butter and our sugar. We'll then add in our mashed bananas, honey, eggs, milk, and vanilla, and we'll mix that until it's completely combined.
To that we'll add our dry ingredients and mix until just incorporated. We'll then grease up a 9x5 loaf pan and dust it with flour and pour our batter into it. We'll take that and bake it on the middle rack of our preheated oven for 10 minutes. And then without opening the door, we're going to turn the oven temperature down to 350 degrees and continue baking until a skewer or toothpick inserted into the middle comes out clean, about 30 to 40 minutes.
Alright, that's all I got for this one, you guys. If you do give this a try at home, be sure to come on back, smack the living out of the like button, and leave a comment down below to let me know how it turned out. This way YouTube understands that you enjoyed this video and this helped you in some way, and YouTube will show it to other people as well. Of course, if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, do me a favor, please consider subscribing. For a full printable version of this recipe, be sure to check out my new blog down in the description, and I'll also leave a link for my Instagram down there. Come follow me, and of course if you make this, send me some pictures so I can share it on Instagram with others. Thanks very much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy. Until next time, stay safe.